so that this will be posted later on Canvas. Hopefully everything will come through then if you can't hear anything at this time. All right. We are dealing with the first day of an extended e-learning, distance learning situation, guys, and this is totally new for everybody, including me. There's a lot of challenges that are going to have to be addressed, little technical difficulties that are going to have to be dealt with, and we're going to work through it together. So the big thing is that you be patient. If you have questions, ask questions, and we'll do everything we can to help you out, get through all this together. It's not a great situation. You guys probably have seen enough of the news to be sick of hearing about diseases and viruses that are affecting everybody, that you'll be good for many, many years to come, I'm sure. But it is the situation, it is our current reality, and we just have to kind of deal with it and move on and make the best of really not a great situation. So that's what we're going to try to do. I want to go through a few things today about what I expect. I'm sure your other teachers, if you've attended their Skype meetings, have gone over similar information today. As we get going, it should get easier for all of us as we get better at this. So one day at a time, be patient, and like I said, if you have questions, you make sure that you ask and get in touch with the teachers whenever you have issues. So that being said, right now you should be seeing the Canvas home page for science. I've changed it up in how it looks a little bit to kind of reflect our current situation. The first thing that we need you guys to do, and you probably already have done it in your other classes, but I'll reiterate and reemphasize that every teacher has an attendance link for you to click on. You will need to click on that, and it will take you to a Google Doc that you'll sign in using your East Noble account, and you'll check in with your teachers. It is very, very important that you do this. You need to do this by 12 o'clock noon each day that we have sessions, so that means Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Otherwise, the office people will be sending out messages and trying to make phone calls and communicating with your parents that you have not checked in for the day, and then you'll have your parents breathing down your neck about getting started on e-learning. So keep everybody happy. Make sure you do that by noon each day. You should be able to check all of your teachers' boxes at once, so you don't have to keep going back every hour or anything like that. So that's the first thing. Second thing, you can see here below that, I have my Skype meeting times. Currently, we're going to run this by our class schedule, so you can see that I have a first, second period class Skype meeting set up. I don't have any students for third period, so then fourth, fifth, and sixth period, I have times for those. That gives me a little bit of a break there to get things done, work on some of the technical issues that I might have had during first or second period. Hopefully everything goes smoother afterwards. If you try to join a Skype meeting, or you get caught up with something at home and you can't join a meeting at the given time, you can always join a later meeting in the day just by clicking the link on the Canvas page. I tried to send out invites through email for you to join, and some of you may have got multiple emails yesterday about joining the Skype meeting. The most current links are here on Canvas, so those should work to every meeting that we set up. These meetings are going to be set up for one of three purposes. One, it could be a lesson for the day. We would talk about a topic. I would present the notes, go through PowerPoint slides or whatever we may have you do for that particular lesson. Those meetings might be a little bit longer, maybe a half an hour to 45 minutes at the most. The shorter meetings, which I will be doing this week, is it's going to be for me to touch base with you to give you instructions for your task for the day. Also give you an opportunity to ask questions, get things clarified if you're confused about something, just to check in, say hi, give me an idea how you're feeling, that sort of stuff, because this is a rough situation for us all to be isolated and separated from each other. It's rough because I know you guys are very, very social, and you miss seeing your friends, and believe it or not, the teachers miss seeing you guys as well. So it gives us a chance to talk with one another, chat with one another, whether it be through the message board or if I unmute the mics and we just have a conversation. But it's going to give us a chance to give instruction, answer questions, or like I'm doing today, just kind of give you a rundown of what's what and what we have to do for the particular day. So like I said, every class period has a start time for a Skype meeting. If you miss your Skype meeting, you can join a later session in the day. That's no problem. If you get caught up and have internet issues or you can't make a meeting at all during the day, I'll be recording one of the sessions and then posting it to the Canvas module for that week. And that's exactly what I'm doing during this period. Now that I've got some of the technical issues worked out from first and second period, I'm actually recording this session to put up for everyone to see later. So hopefully that works out without any difficulty. So another question is, what do we got to do for today? And that is going to be found in modules, like always for me. So I'm going to switch to the student view just to clear up some of the clutter that's on the screen, and we'll go to modules. And here I've got the distance learning week 1 here. Each week will be its own module, and the dates are there. I have the instructions and also a very important announcement about due dates. This is really important for you to pay attention to because due dates and late assignments are going to be handled very, very differently during this distance learning time in our education. So basically, this week's assignments have to be turned in on Canvas. They all have to be turned in by April 6th at noon. And I should probably edit that there, but at noon on April 6th. There will be absolutely no assignments accepted after that date and time for week 1. This is what we kind of nicknamed yesterday as teachers our drop dead due date. So if you don't get the work done this week and turned in on Canvas, those assignments will be permanently marked as missing, and they also are given a grade of a 0. There's nothing you can do to make up those assignments if you miss that due date. Also, they did want us to share with you that work that was from last week. If you didn't get that turned in and it was missing, for me that would have been bridge number 5, the prototype bridge that you designed to start building your bridges in class. If you did not turn that screenshot in to me, the drop dead due date for that is also going to be April 6th. Now, the reason why it's April 6th this week is because following this week, we have 2 weeks of spring break. So to be very generous to you, to give you plenty of time to get everything done, they're going to give you the due date of Monday, April 6th, which would be the day we would come back to school from spring break if we were actually here. So that's the first day that teachers are back working, is April 6th. So that's the due date for this first week. For the remainder of the weeks, it's going to be that you have 1 week's worth of distance learning, and then the drop dead due date for that week is going to be the following Monday. So when we look at the calendar here, it's going to be April 6th is the due date for this week's work, and then that week's worth of e-learning stuff would actually be due April 13th. So when we're doing our sessions for April 7th, 8th, and 9th, all that work has to be completed by noon on April 13th if it's going to be counted as on time. So you're going to have to work really hard, be really responsible to make sure that you're not letting things sit, because if you miss those due dates, you will get a 0 and you will end up failing those assignments, and there's no way to make up those grades. this is kind of an old school way of thinking, but this is in totally uncharted waters for us. And due dates are due dates, and they are hard and fast, so there's no getting around it. So be extra responsible and do your work. So that being said, our first assignment for this whole, 3-4 weeks of distance learning that we're set up for is we're not going to start anything new this week. I don't think it would be a good idea for us to start a new topic, because having 2 weeks of spring break where you have no work at all, then come back and we just try to pick up a brand new topic, you'll end up forgetting things, and I'll end up having to just repeat lessons and review material, and it'd be a waste of time. So we're going to kind of stick with our bridges and do a couple of activities to wrap up this unit, challenge your design skills a little bit, and just kind of finish up this particular unit before spring break. And then after spring break, April 7th, I'll have a brand new lesson and content for you. Then we'll move on from there. So the first assignment that you have is called the first distance learning bridge assignment. So if we click on that, it tells you what the bridge requirements are. It's a design assignment, just like you've been doing up to this point, although I'm changing it up a little bit to challenge you with some new designs. So for today's bridge, you're designing a deck truss bridge. That means that the entire truss structure is below the road deck. Everything we've designed and built up to this point has been above the road deck. It's called a through truss, and that's what we focused on. Now we're going to flip it. You're going to be supporting the bridge from underneath. So no supports should be above the bridge supporting it. You have a budget of $300,000. That is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you, because it is kind of a small budget given the size of the bridge that you're going to be building, but it is doable. If you have a hard time hitting your budget, don't get too stressed out. It's only a point or two of your total assignment grade. So if you come in over budget, but your bridge works, you're going to be just fine. Okay, so as always, you'll submit your screenshot of your bridge to Canvas, and it'll be graded based on the requirements. So make sure you include everything there. So bridge requirements are: elevation is going to be set at 24 meters. Deck material is medium strength concrete, and a load limit of 480 kilonewtons. So what I did, just to kind of give you a visual, is I kind of threw a bridge together, made sure it worked, and this would be kind of what your bridge looks like or could look like when you design it. So you open up your bridge software, you put in all the requirements. Notice my entire bridge structure is underneath the road deck. This is what I would take the screenshot of, the whole screen, and then submit it. You can see I'm over budget by $94,000. If I really wanted to play with it, I could probably get that down, but for demonstration purposes, I have a working bridge, and this would be a passing bridge if that was your case as well. I know everybody's curious to see how it tests, so I'll go ahead and run it. You'll see my bridge is very bendy, and the truck, does a nice little U shape. Looks like a suspension bridge in a way, like a rope bridge or something over a river. So it works, everything's happy, and I take a screenshot and submit this on Canvas. So that will be your first task, is to design your first deck truss bridge at 24 meters elevation with all the other requirements in place. So I'm going to go back to my Skype screen and see if you guys have any questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to type them into the message box, and I'll try to relay those. I don't know if you can see you can see the conversation on your own screen. So what do we have question-wise? How many bridges will we do in total? Right now you're just doing one for today. And tomorrow I have a different bridge design for you. I'll explain what that is tomorrow. Um, but they were really adamant with us yesterday in school that we don't post the entire week all at once. They want daily contact with you guys, and I agree. Being isolated like that, it can be kind of tough. We're social creatures, and um, that interaction is really, really important. And so we'll post something each day. We'll have a Skype meeting each day. Some of them will be a lot shorter than this one today. I'm looking at my timer right now. It says this whole meeting's gone on for almost 25 minutes already. But, it just depends on what we're doing for that particular day. But for now, you just have one bridge to design for tomorrow. And, that's all you have to worry about for today's assignment. Tomorrow you'll have a different task. I promise tomorrow will probably be a little bit shorter in terms of our Skype meeting. Just kind of touch base with you, that sort of stuff. Okay? I am curious to see how something works. So I see Abby's typing a message. I'm going to unmute Abby. Abby, talk into your microphone, please.
What time does 5th period Skype call start?
Okay. Did everybody hear that? Put like a yes or something in the message if you heard Abby's question. Awesome. So she asked, what time does the 5th period Skype message start? I will have to go back here to my homepage because I have the times that we were given. 5th period looks like it starts at 11:30. So they're set up for about 45-minute time intervals for the meetings. Like I said, most meetings aren't going to be a full 45 minutes. They'll be a lot shorter than that. So,
okay.
Yeah, I've got all the start times listed on my page. I don't know if the other teachers did. But for now, that's our plan to do that with that schedule. If we find out it's just too much and overwhelming, we'll probably alter the schedule after break, but we're going to give it a shot for 3 days. Okay? All right. If you have any other questions, why is there such a big break between 5th and 6th period? To be honest, that's lunchtime. And that's kind of the way they set it up, is they wanted to give teachers a good break to answer emails and do that sort of stuff, but also so we can eat lunch. And since there's no cafeteria food, and Mr. Field and I don't like to bring our own, and we like to go get food, and with the governor shutting down restaurants, it's going to be tough for us to get our lunches and stuff. So we need time to maybe go run to a drive-through or something to do that. So I think we're having something delivered today. I think that's our plan. But hopefully you guys have well-stocked kitchens and pantries at home, and are eating good. Caitlin's hungry. All right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me emails, send me a Skype instant message. Caitlin says her family's having a hard time finding toilet paper. I'm going to tell you, here's the advice. Go to the small town grocery stores. Stay away from Walmart, because that place is like zombie apocalypse out there, because there's nothing out there. Kroger was fully stocked. Miller's in Rome City was fully stocked. Go around and go to the smaller towns. You should be able to find things. All right, guys. If you have any questions, like I said, contact me, email, send me a message on Skype. I'm going to be at my computer a lot during these days to answer your questions. If we have to get a video call or something in, then we'll do it. But take care, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.